conscious entrepreneurship, in slow fashion space and other similar spaces can be such a challenge because there's this sort of like, I don't know, I guess mainstream entrepreneurial advice of like grow big, grow fast, and like kind of do whatever it takes to get there, even if
Yeah.
damage your health, hustling, pulling all-nighters. I mean, you hear all these wild things and,
Yeah.
advertising in whatever way possible, lowering your costs as low as they can go while also having your prices as high as the market will bear so you can have the biggest profit margins. I mean, going to like business school and being sort of like in that business world for many years, both like just in my job and also like curious about entrepreneurship. Just a lot of things about that did not sit well with me, like at all. Like, very, just like, it just felt very against my values. And I was like, if I'm going to start a business, like, I don't want it to be something that feels so icky. It was like, I want to grow this like
Right.
sustainable fashion platform, but I don't want to do it in unsustainable ways for myself or,
Mm.
also in ways that don't feel very like, I don't want to say ethical, but just ways that didn't feel good to me, that didn't feel
Oh,
right. I
yeah.
mean, I don't want to be like judging like everyone's kind of coming from a different place when they're starting a business, but they weren't aligned with my values. And so I'm
Right.
curious like what that's been like trying to like build a business that's aligned with your values. Like, do you have any tips for people who are struggling with that?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's basically the most complicated thing. Um, to have a sustainable business that's also sustainable
Yeah.
for yourself. Because burnout is a thing. It's not helping anyone if we all burn out.
Yeah.
So I just want to share this that one of the business owners in my business circle has made a video about her business, and it totally made me cry. It was so beautiful. It was like the epiphany of the small craft business, and you basically wanted to buy everything she has and live in her world of naturally dyed
Mhm.
beauty. You know what I mean? It was just so beautiful. And it made me cry because I know how hard it is to keep businesses like that going. And we need the business. We need we need to be commercial. It's not a hobby. So there's that part where you do have to be businessy about it and say that we need to ask the price that it's actually worth. And a lot of people in craft, in small businesses in craft, they start from a passion. They don't have a business education. So they compare or they set their prices talking to their on one hand their peers, so the people that they used to craft with are now their customers, and they'd say, this is too expensive, I can't afford this. And then they keep their prices low, and it's killing them. And
Yeah.
so on one hand, I really want to say that if you start a business in this kind of business, like a yarn dyer, if you're a yarn dyer, or if you knit sweaters for people, you really need to think about, it's quite easy to do the math on beforehand, like how much do you have to sell in order to get to the income that you need. um, and a lot of the time it won't look like a feasible business, and then you have to really decide what to do. So people just go into it, and I was one of those people. They go into it from their passion, and that makes it really hard to have like a business that
Yeah.
really works. Then there's the bit of your values, the ethical marketing. I've been focused on that a lot, and I've been taught different ways of marketing that I don't subscribe to now, that I don't want to
Mhm.
use anymore. It's a journey to find ways that work. So, social media. I don't believe in social media anymore from a business perspective, because over the years I've looked at it and I've seen that however much people think I what I bring is inspiring, it didn't bring me enough. I wouldn't say any, but
Mhm.
enough customers. So I would put in so much time and effort to entertain people that should be my customers, right? So I'm trying to look at it from a value based
Yeah. I mean, the ROI, like the return on
perspective.
investment isn't there.
Yeah,
It's not maybe that social
right,
media brings you 0, but is it worth the amount of time that you're investing in it?
exactly.
Yeah.
You yeah, and how can you do it differently? So that's something I'm also working on within the business circle is how can we offer different ways of marketing, and how can we work together to figure out what will work, and then looking at ethical marketing, and just being really open and transparent to people, and then kind of hoping in a way that they understand that that is the way to go. And if they are able to choose between the moguls and the value based small businesses, if they can actually step away from the want, and the more, that which we have all been like force fed
Yeah, more is
almost
better in all senses
throughout
when that's
yeah,
not yeah.
more and cheaper. That's what, and I still kind of sometimes go back
Yeah.
default to that sometimes, and I go
Me
like, "Whoa, what
too.
am I
Yeah.
doing? This is not me." Yeah, and you're like, "Oh, this is cheap." No, Saskia, do you actually need it? Like, and this is also something I try to focus on. Do you work from what you need, and then you can still make it fun. You can still choose materials and patterns that you love, but just not get distracted by everything that is
Mhm.
on your feed, right? Of Instagram or Pinterest, and like, I want this, I need
Yeah,
this, I
like
want this, I need this.
shiny new
Do
object
you?
syndrome is like or shiny object
Yeah,
syndrome is like
yeah,
totally a thing and like entrepreneurship too. Like, oh, this person's doing this cool thing. I need to do that. Or they launched this cool product. I need to launch this too. They
yes,
have a course. I need a course. They have a membership. I need a membership. They have a
exactly.
TikTok. I need a TikTok.
Yeah,
Like all the things. And it's just like
yep,
consumption, like products. Like we're constantly tempted to shop
exactly.
on social media. And I feel like I've unfollowed most accounts that like trigger that, although you still see like ads. But
Mm,
I feel like in terms of entrepreneurship, I often feel that like, oh, they're doing this cool thing and this cool thing. And it's like it's hard to like figure out okay, what feels core to me, what feels core to my audience, what feels core to my business. And although there's moments where I feel very inspired by what other people are doing on Instagram,
yeah,
I have
that's
to
a
take
different
breaks.
sentiment.
Like I have to like that's been something I've been implementing more recently is just like I need to take breaks so I can reflect on like and this is something that a previous guest, Kestrel Jenkins, talked about in an episode on slowing down media which was like
Mm,
taking you sometimes you don't even know what you want. Like you might not even know where you want your business to go because you're so confused by what everybody else is doing. Like you need a moment, you need a break,
yeah.
like, whether you ever return, like, you've decided to leave it completely or you just
Mm,
want to like take breaks away. I think that's so important to just like get more clear on what you want and what you actually like as you were saying before, like
yeah,
what even is success to you? Like
exactly, exactly.